Good morning. We are live on Facebook, and with us we have Juliana Snyder, who is the co-host and moderator with me. Juliana, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, and then we will be introducing our guests.
Yeah. Good morning. My name is Juliana. I'm the owner of Combat 360. I do, consulting and management for various companies, just to assist on the financial and business side of things, rather than specifics, and letting them, help with do that while I help with the business side of things. So I'm just excited to see what we have here with our special guest today.
Fantastic, fantastic. So with us, we have Zulma Bernice. She's one of our Vino and Vision coaches from Florida. And we have guest who is Dimitri. Dimitri, you have to tell us your last name.
It's Xiao. It's yeah.
Okay, hopefully I'm pronouncing it right. So both of you are here, and Dimitri, definitely you are a young entrepreneur, and this is our episode of another episode of Young Entrepreneurs Building the Future of Business. So we are very excited to have you both here. And why don't we start with Zulma to introduce yourself, and then we'll go to Dimitri.
Yes, hi, good morning, everyone. I'm Zulma Berenice, just like Milu shared with you guys. I am a lead for the Vino and Vision program at Mill. I am a regional and global lead, and I am very happy to be here with you all today to introduce Dimitri, because Dimitri is a wonderful entrepreneur already at his young age, and we are all about building the future. And if as established entrepreneurs, we don't aspire to inspire the younger generations, well, then I really do believe our future doesn't look very bright. Dimitri and I met locally in Pensacola. He reached out to me because he found my profile on Instagram, and he was interested in finding more about my holistic leadership approach. I really felt honored to have someone reach out to me and to express his desire to want to know more about what I do and how I do it. And that's how we connected. Once we met, we realized very quickly that we have many, many things in common, including our desire to help others through health-related modalities. And that just solidified our entrepreneurial relationship even more. And as I got to know him and his very creative style to his entrepreneur journey already, I was just really, again, honored to be invited to be a part of that with him. And so, excuse me, here we have Dimitri, and I just want to share what his journey is all about and inspire others, and to also encourage him to keep on what he's doing.
Very well.
Hey.
Well, welcome, Zulma. Dimitri, if you don't mind to introduce yourself to the audience.
Yeah. Dimitri Xiao. I'm in Southwest Florida right now. And I'm actually going to disappoint Zulma a little bit, because when we were speaking beforehand, I was pursuing my bachelor's in physical therapy. That took kind of a turn. I was studying in Pensacola, Florida. And just recently, I undertook my bachelor's of marketing. So career took a little bit of a turn from physical therapy to real estate. And that's my primary focus right now here in Southwest Florida, and even extending into South Carolina. So I'm looking at investment properties, fix and flip opportunities, and long-term rentals. So that's my my goal right now. Just laying the groundwork for that. I'm actually a licensed agent in Florida, so I haven't really used that as much as I thought I would, but right now I'm still enrolled in school for marketing, so that's taking up a good amount of time. But it's just nice to have all these avenues and network like this with people who are entrepreneurial minded. So yeah, appreciate this opportunity.
Very well. That is what is the purpose for our young entrepreneurship organization that we are building within the Dharmil Group, and with the help of our coaches and with the help of other entrepreneurs like Juliana, who are in the same zone, who are young entrepreneurs, and we are also building this community with the support of the people who want to support the young entrepreneurs. So the more support we get, the more we will be helping the young entrepreneurs to grow their business and make them very successful and take the business to the future. And the future is what we are looking for, because as you can see, in the future, there will be no Milu Islam, because 40 years from now, I will disappear from this earth and I will be somewhere else, maybe in Mars or Jupiter. I don't know where, but I will find out when I'm there. But by that time, you guys will take over the world and you guys will build the business that we need to continue to grow this world and make it very, very good place for everybody to enjoy for future generations. So with that said, Juliana, take the floor.
Yeah, so thank you for sharing your, your backgrounds. Just can we talk a little bit more about your background in bio, Mitria?
Of course, yeah.
Can you just tell us like how you, came into being a young entrepreneur and kind of what inspired you to do that?
Yeah, so I'm actually from Toronto, Ontario. My parents, they recommended Pensacola Christian College because it's a solid, morally grounded school. My pastor recommended it as well. And honestly, I've had no problem with it. It's an amazing school. I met a lot of people there. That's where most of my entrepreneurial spirit probably came from. Just working with other people there that have big ambitions. And I started doing photography and videography. That's how I actually linked up with Zulma. I started my own company called Lumina FX, just making short videos, posting them on my Instagram, and then advertising that I would do them for other people. That's where I reached out to Zulma. I made a couple of advertising videos for her Instagram. They turned out pretty decent. And then from there, from there, it just grew. While I was doing that, I was studying physical therapy because I love health and fitness. That's one of my passions. I just it took a turn recently. I didn't really want to pursue that as a career. I wanted to do that more as a side passion, and real estate was my next best option. So I got my license, and that's what I've been fully committed to for the past couple of months, just 100% grinding, trying to get this business off the ground. I have a lot of plans regarding that. South Carolina real estate is amazing. Florida, the market has never been hotter. Interest rates are lower than they've ever been. And I just see so much potential. And I love houses. I love design and creativity and aesthetics. So I look forward to renovating and making houses look beautiful. There's just so much opportunity, and that's where I am right now. Came
Okay.
from yeah.
Yeah, very cool. So I guess what made that shift between, going from physical therapy to the marketing and real estate?
Yeah, so I love creativity and design, which is why I did Lumen FX. I did videography and photography. I
Mhm.
love working with like just creative things. And I see so much more potential in real estate for creative marketing and just creativity overall with designing and floor plans and interior design than with physical therapy. Like, don't get me wrong, I love health and fitness. Like, I love working out, I love exercise and sports, but I didn't see that as a career. I didn't really like when I sat down and analyzed it, that's not what I wanted to do long term.
Mhm.
But I still love to do it personally and playing sports with friends and working out and just being fit is something that I love to do, just not as a career.
Got it. That makes sense. So I guess long term, is that like real estate is something that you want to do in marketing?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, real estate, and it's always real estate is something that even when the market's down, people will be selling. Like as an agent,
Right.
I will never be out of business, so that's a plus for me because when
Yeah.
the market shifts, yeah.
Can you talk about some of the trends and marketing shifts that you've seen in the industry right now?
Well, I'm very fresh. I'm a newbie, but
Mhm.
since I've been in the business, it's been COVID. So there have been a lot of restrictions as far as showing properties, and I mean that's basically the only restriction so far as showing properties. But it's a hot seller's market, so
Mhm.
uh, prices are being driven up. There's low inventory, but that is good in a sense, not from my perspective because I'm always trying to find deals,
Mhm.
but it's just nice to watch and to learn about market trends so that you can um, predict prices, predict when the market's going to crash, so you can get out at the right time. And that's what I'm trying to do right now. I'm trying to immerse myself fully in learning about trends so that I won't be caught by surprise.
Very
So
good.
there's not much I could tell you from experience, but just from studying, that's what I've learned.
Yeah, it's interesting. I've seen a lot of trends during COVID that, are different than normal. So
Right, very
really
nice. What we are seeing here is also a trend. And Juliana is a good example of that. Is she does a lot of research. And what trend
Yeah.
I am seeing, Zulma, and you can support that, is I'm seeing young entrepreneurs are doing a lot of research, and they're looking at the trend, and they're looking at the market, and they're going out there with the approach of something that they think is going to be very good for business. What do you think, Zulma?
Yes, because research is extremely important to make the best decision possible. And as Dimitri shared, especially when you're starting off and you're fresh and not making decisions on just, even though intuition is very important, especially for a holistic approach to business, you want to make well-informed holistic decisions. So it's a beautiful trend to see unfold in young entrepreneurs because their mindset is long-term. And if it's long-term, then success will be more likely than not. And you have not disappointed me, Dimitri. It's completely because if I told you my journey, well, I've shared some of it with you, but the entrepreneurial journey is all about shifting itself as well. And you make a very aware and conscious decision that what you consider your passion at this moment can take a step down. You actually realize that they're more connected than not. And so when you shared about your desire to rehabilitate homes and make them, that's not very different than helping rehabilitate human beings. And actually you're doing the same, both at the same time. So it will never disappoint me when you are growing, holding, being yourself, true to yourself more than anything. Good job.
And I'm seeing that as far as learning and growing. And as you can tell, that as a young entrepreneur, you are in school. So is Juliana. Is both of you are in school, and you are learning the business world at the same time you're getting educated. So combining those two and looking at the future of what is the trend, where is things going to impact most, and being open to new learning and growth is a fantastic thing to have, and it will help you. And what Zulma said, to have a long-term perspective, because we have businesses that we have seen now. Walmart, for example, a long time ago, and now they are all over the world, right? So, so this type of businesses that started with a futuristic view and now is all over the world, and they're doing it. So by having that mindset, creating us, taking us to that direction of the future. So Zulma, where do you think the entrepreneurs are facing challenges nowadays, and how these young entrepreneurs can help shaping the future?
And it may not be the case for everyone or every young entrepreneur. We are seeing a huge shift into being more aware and having to bring in creativity as part of the entrepreneurial journey. And, you know, I know Dimitri can add to this in a minute. Being able to combine the two in a world that is so content driven at the moment, and in platforms that we need to keep up with, like, you know, Instagram or many of the other social media platforms that support the marketing that goes into the entrepreneurial journey. And so I'm very pleased that Dimitri has opted to go back to school in marketing, because when we met for our different projects, can definitely tell the passion that was there, and to see that that's come above the other things that he was doing, definitely lets me envision a brighter future for him, because it's really implementing what's important, which is being happy with what you do. You know, not having to settle into something because it's what you have to do, but being creative. You know, you can go to school and do real estate like he is doing, or you can go to school and pursue something else, because the two are going to feed each other. Having said that, the challenges, I think it's really tapping into that and finding out what makes sense versus, or at the same time, what one can do to bring the two together to create a life that one loves. You know, having a way to create income and make profit and be happy at the same time.
Very well. Well, what you are saying there is having a holistic mindset and having the entrepreneur mindset from the beginning. So the difference between somebody who is going to college and want to pursue a job in future, and the people who are young entrepreneurs who are starting very early in this, the mindset that I am seeing is the difference is having to learn what is fitting of your mindset and your business. Means you are like, for example, Juliana started this business, Combat 360, and then she shifted to say, okay, I need to go get myself some education on master's degree level. And she enrolled in the college based on the things that she's doing and enhancing her education. And sound like Dimitri doing the same thing, is starting this business, doing this business at the same time, adding the education to it to make sure you are doing the right thing and enhancing your business knowledge, which is a fabulous thing to have. Juliana, do you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, I think that's really well put. So I think as a young person, just going to school and going to university at this point is really critical in just learning about the new trends with COVID and with, you know, before COVID, during COVID, and what will come afterwards, and just creating a new world of business, or whatever industry that you're in, just being up to date and kind of most innovative, you know, place that you can be is in a university. So I think that's really important going forward. You see a lot of the big tech people in the past, just like they had that pivotal moment really in their 20s. And I think as a young entrepreneur, that's really important to know and to remember, and just to use that time, you know, to study, to understand the trends, the marketing, because in your 20s, that is when things do shift. And I think this is really critical time during COVID, as we see different trends coming out. You know, the young entrepreneurs can be kind of the leading way into the future of where things are going to go.
Yes. Dimitri, what do you say about that?
100% accurate. If you if you don't stay up to date on the current trends and especially online, now that everything is online, I'm trying to shift my business marketing online because one thing, I don't like cold calling all day or door knocking. So staying on top of the trends as far as online marketing goes is so important,
Yeah, and I think,
especially, yeah. Go ahead.
yeah, that's also where like data and analytics come into, play,
Exactly.
especially in marketing. So I just recently did an international business analytics and data analytics like course. And we were just looking at the trends and kind of just things that will happen in the future, and just AI is going to be so important in the future. Just like inbound marketing versus outbound marketing, things like that is critical in how we market to people and how we do business in the future. So
Yes.
Absolutely.
That is very well said, Juliana. And so, one of the goals for our young entrepreneurship group that we are creating and building in Facebook is to build that future of business and help the young entrepreneur as much as we can to reach those goals. And we will be also reaching out, and Zulma is aware of that, we will be also reaching out some corporations, major corporations who can fund this, because if they can help you, then we can help you and we can take you to a different dimension. Because the thing is, the business in future is going to be run by you. And if we can help you, if the corporations can help you, that's a futuristic viewpoint to have. And we should be helping you with all the resources that we have to make sure you are successful. And if you are successful, we are successful, means we created something for the future. Zulma, what do you want to say about that?
Going back to the trends and why it's important to stay on top of them, it's because it's important to learn the trends, but become a trend. Part of building that future is being farsighted into how these trends are, or a tool for the moment that will build and create on the future. And the future is bright with wonderful entrepreneurs, Dimitri and Juliana.
Absolutely, absolutely. There is no doubt, because remember, future is what you build. And if you have, and one of the challenges that young entrepreneurs face is the age, I would say that it's two-way. They feel themselves, because they are young, they feel like, okay, there is I'm too young for this. So the age is a challenge for them. At the same times, the people who are grown up, they also look at the young entrepreneurs as a challenge, because they see their age is young and they say, well, their ideas are not good or whatnot. But guess what? The most innovative ideas are now coming out from young entrepreneurs who are seeing things newly and who are seeing things differently, and who, I grew up with some manual phone where you can, do those numbers. And that's how I grew up. And you guys never saw that. You may have seen in a old place shop or something, but you grew up in a different world. And with that, you have the mindset of a future. And the goal of everybody is to work together. And the community is a big thing. And in young entrepreneur, having a community to support you and having a community where you can play a role as well. And then as you grow your business, you can see that you have a role to play in social good. How do you help people around the world? And how do you, and you are not limited to your geography anymore. You have the entire world. And maybe in future, who knows, we may be out some other planets as well. So the planetary system may be come into play as well for you. So keep your mind open to that big future. Which some of us will be there, some of us may not. So with that said, Dimitri, tell us about your challenges that you are facing, and how do you feel like everybody can help you, or you can be part of that solving the challenges.
Yeah, of course. I just want to mention, I love the idea of the planetary expansion. I love what Elon Musk is trying to do. I think that's so exciting. But yeah, challenges right now, just being so young is probably just startup capital, honestly. Any other young entrepreneur's issue is getting the money to get started. I have a lot of ideas, but I know that once I set my mind to something, I'll find a way to get the money to get it going. So that's not really a challenge in that sense, especially with the creative financing nowadays and funding. You can get almost 100% funding, no money down. It's ridiculous. It just everything is out there for you to go get. So there's really no challenges like from a monetary perspective. It's just a matter of putting it into action. So from a real estate perspective, I'm just setting up the groundwork. And as soon as everything's in order, you're just putting things in motion and just multiplying from there. Like I've already done that with like on small scale when I was in school physically. Right now, I'm in my room. I'm just doing it online. But when I was physically in Pensacola, I did electronics resale just for some side income and Lumina FX. So scaled that from the ground up, and it was pretty successful. I got a decent following on Instagram, got most of my business from there, and I'm hoping to do that with another business, real estate. So there's not a whole lot of walls or challenges that I can see, especially since I got that focus and everything else kind of falls aside.
Fantastic, fantastic. Having the focus is very important, and what I am seeing here, and Juliana can support that, is when you see the challenges as opportunity. When you see the challenges as opportunity, those challenges goes away because you know how to address that opportunity, because now you can go and accept that opportunity. So just replacing the negative word challenges to the positive word opportunity changes your life, changes your mindset. And I am seeing that. Juliana, what do you see? And how do you relate to that?
Yeah, I think being able to be flexible and fluid is really critical, and being able to to kind of exploit the things in the marketing world, or I guess in the market, being able to understand where there's opportunities, where there's risk, and being able to exploit that is where you're going to be able to get that profit, and also just the opportunities as well. So we see during COVID, there's a lot of different changes, and if you're able to be flexible, you can, jump on that opportunity, as in, doing marketing things like you're doing, or even just reselling things. I know the car market is really up, the housing market is really up, used workout equipment is really up. Like there's a ton of things that if you're able to be flexible, that you're able to have that opportunity and to capitalize on that.
Very well. Any last minute thought from Dimitris?
Just I love this group, how you're bringing people together, helping them to understand things that they might not have understood before, and inspiring them to be able to go and do it for themselves, because there's more of a mental barrier than anything else, because everything that they need is out there to go and do whatever they want to do. So this is hopefully going to be some sort of catalyst for young entrepreneurs to go and do what they need to do.
Fantastic, fantastic. I appreciate you saying that. Zulma, any last minute thought from you?
Well, I'm in love with everything. And so for me, it's about seeing the development of a unity between, like one of the points that Juliana made about data and analytics. And we talked about how important it is to take that consideration into decision-making in the present, future. Then Juliana also mentioned flexibility, staying flexible and fluid. And they're in different points in the spectrum. But what I am seeing is this beautiful dance between the two. And that unity is very important, because we go back again to staying true to yourself. You may look at data and analytics and then see what everyone is doing according to the trend and decide that because that's the trend, that's what I'm going to do. But if you take a minute and say, well, how would I do it? What do I think about it? How do I feel about it? And take all of that into consideration for a decision that doesn't have to be concrete, because you're still remaining flexible, really is, in my opinion, a very important part of the journey, because the results will align more with your happiness versus not. No amount of money in the bank will matter if you're not happy with how you achieved it, how you attain it, if you didn't enjoy the journey. So my wish for both of you is that you enjoy the journey, and I know you are, and that you continue doing just that. And welcoming us to be a part of that, it's an honor.
Fabulously said, and thank you, Zulma, for summarizing what I was going to say, because we have learned a lot of things in last half an hour. We learned about the research and futuristic viewpoint that we have to grow the business in the future. We learned about flexibility and the mindset of opportunity instead of challenges and difficulties. So having that mindset of opportunity and finding the right thing and right mix to grow your business, and at the same time share with other entrepreneurs of your knowledge as you are coming up, other young entrepreneurs, and helping them grow with you and building a global community. And like we mentioned, maybe in future, a global planetary community that we will be building and helping that. So with that said, our time is up. We were having so much fun, and time fly when you're having fun. So Dimitri, thank you for coming. Zulma, thank you for helping us here. Juliana, fantastic job as always. We would like to see you guys back again and join us to build this community of young entrepreneurs building the future of business. And thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thanks.